This is Car Jeep, and you guys are listening to Nissan Nation Podcast.
Recorded live, coast to coast, it's the Nissan Nation Podcast. From camping, racing, and all points in between. The NNP is your Nissan Nation Podcast. Now start your engines and welcome in the hosts, David and Danny.
What is going on, Nissan Nation?
What up, what up?
Dan, what a last show, buddy.
Yeah, we had a good time out there, didn't we?
I think we had a little too good a time, man. For those that listened, I want to give a shout out to anybody that's listened, man. That has been our top rated show. You guys seem to love Two Idiots Drunk and the madness.
There was like 14 idiots drunk on that show, I think.
I know,
Let's
man.
not say drunk. 14 idiots with a solid buzz going. That's what that was.
And then Joey Parent.
And Joey Parent just living his life, doing awesome.
So Dan, give us a recap, man. Oh, wait a minute. Stop the press here. We got somebody with us, man. Why don't you bring him in, Dan?
Well, that's right. We have the man, the myth, the legend, the snazzy style Luke Pankow, the man from Lifestyle Off-Road. What is it? Lifestyle Off-Road Sticker Company, or is it just Lifestyle Off-Road? Luke.
Well, I guess technically it would it'd be Lifestyle Off-Road LLC.
Oh,
but that's no fun to say, so it's just Lifestyle Off-Road.
Roger that.
So what kind of lifestyle do you live off-road, buddy?
The best. The Nissan Lifestyle Off-Road.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's
Come
what
on.
I'm talking about.
Wait. I'm gonna say Nissan. I'm gonna go Nissan. I'm country today,
the
buddy.
Nissan lifestyle. The Nissan lifestyle of the rich and famous. Luke Pankow, now on the Nissan Nation Podcast.
When Luke was 15, he bought his first Nissan.
It was a hard body, and it was beautiful, though a little bit decrepit.
The rust of the upper north has torn it to pieces.
So, anyways, Luke, sorry for the sidebar. How you doing, buddy? Let me do a little bit more introduction for Luke. Luke is a good friend of ours. One of Dave's wheeling buddies for a long time. And then I met him out at WENTwindrock.
No, you met him at NXM, buddy.
I met him at NXM 3.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Dan didn't show up.
We met on the way to Gone Moab 2013.
Oh snap! We did. We met in Iowa.
I'm part of the whole Power Rock.
Oh, I forgot you actually got to experience the full glory that was my Power Rock hippies. Yeah. That's awesome. So yeah, we ended up spending a Moab together, and then after that, later that year, we hooked up at NXM, and we've been
wait. How did you hook
each other?
How did you hook up?
What? In an extremely hetero way.
Okay, in an appropriate way, right?
Totally appropriately.
I mean, after that last show,
sleep on the top bunk.
Technically.
I don't think Dan slept that first NXM at all.
A bit. I found myself in. You know what? I always ended up in the bunk. I don't know what time it was usually, but I always ended up in the bunk.
So we got Mr. Luke here. And like he said, he's with Lifestyle. They do, I think, stickers and shirts and stuff like that, Luke. Is that what y'all do?
Yeah, mainly stickers and design right now. And then at Went, I'm planning on doing shirts, hats, sweatshirts, kind of anything you can wear. I want my name on it. So.
All right. So, Dan, we'll get in some little bit of Xterra kind of news, I guess. Our buddy, Derek Metz. For those that don't know, search www.derekmetz.com, and I guess you spell Metz M-E-T-Z.
Yep.
So
yeah, Derek's on a hell of an adventure, man.
Our Xterra, but if you look on xterranation.org, you can find his build. I don't think he really calls his build anything, but other than Derek, Metz can.
Metz I can.
Yeah, is his
not to be construed with any type of south of the border terminology. I think it's METZICAN on a couple of the forums or something like that. But
I guess about 6 months ago, Derek jumped into building an off-road trailer, like a teardrop style trailer, and with his goal was driving, what do they call that? The TAT, the Transatlantic
American
Trail or something?
type line. I don't know. Pretty much all the way up Alaska, right? All the way up to
Yeah. Well, the TAT goes to
Alaska.
Oregon, I think, and then from there he's heading to Alaska. But Derek is, I think, an engineer by schooling,
yeah.
and so like he just got it in his head that he was going to build this trailer, and all he had somebody fab for him was the basic frame of the trailer. And I think probably within 5 months, Derek had this thing up and rolling, and just often decided it was time to go to Alaska. And if you get on that webpage, that derekmetz.com, you can like read about his adventures. And I guess he's about 9 days in currently.
Yeah, and there's also a place to donate. I donated a little something to him. I would say that he needs it because he has run into some trouble on the first couple days. I'm happy that he ran into the trouble early, because running into it late, the same problems could have been a lot worse depending on where he was. So technically, I'm happy that he ran into those problems now sooner than later. But yeah, he ran into some trouble the first week there.
Yeah, I think he lost 4-wheel drive, and then he had some bumper issues or some tear in the frame or something. I really felt bad for him, man.
Yeah.
He had texted.
He's out there getting his adventure on, man. He's chopping trees with chainsaws and getting muddy and
meeting the hillbillies of the South, I think, currently.
Yeah.
So a little bit of the background with it. Derek stopped. I guess his first stop was at my house, man. He come and spent the night in the backyard in his trailer, and I think he had a few little kinks he needed to iron out, and the next day he was off on his venture heading, I guess I think it's Jellicoe or something, Tennessee is where the actual trail starts. But as soon as he hit Mississippi, and for those that may live in the South, we've had a ton of rain here lately. I know Texas, it's been in the news like crazy, been hammered with rain, and all that just filters right up to us. So these roads that he's traveling are all dirt and gravel, I guess, really. So he instantly sliding all over the place. I think day 2 he loses 4-wheel drive for some reason.
Getting in that Mississippi mud.
Yeah. There's some mud to be had there. So
it didn't look like fun. I'll tell you that much. His whole, and he had a little problem with his, like, because he made some mud flaps. I guess he kind of fabbed up a little quick mud flap because he was like, just like blowing mud all over his trailer, all over his truck. Yeah.
Yeah. Derek is an interesting fellow, and he was actually the winner of what class was it last year, Luke, that he won the Rock Challenge?
The 35-inch tire and smaller group.
Yeah.
But he was, well, I guess there was 3 participants, and he took first out of those 3 in the Rock Crawl Challenge.
Which is funny, and those that, and we'll get into this a little later in the show, but if you go to WENTwindrock.com, you'll see pictures of his truck on there as well, going up the challenge. And the guy is from somewhere, he's an oil rigger, I guess, down in Louisiana somewhere.
Yeah, he spent some time on the rig.
And I've never seen somebody so crazy enough to literally go bash their truck through all these rocks in the Rock Challenge and win the trophy and the white knuckle trophy. And he then literally drove home. Like,
right.
Was that like 700-800 miles away easily? And
hell of a drive.
And I guess,
well, and it was like an hour after he crossed the finish line too.
Exactly.
He just threw his tent in the back of his truck and took off and drove home.
That's right. He had packed everything up and did the Rock Challenge with everything he brought with him. So
Derek, that's crazy. I love Derek. I last year it went. We went out pre-ran a trail.
Oh, that's right.
And sure enough, like we were going out. I think he just has a propensity for mud and getting stuck and just getting in it. Because we were 3/4 of the way through the trail, we took a wrong turn and we ended up knee deep in just like the nastiest muck sucking mud that I've been a part of in a while. And I ended up he opens up the door, which is like maybe a couple inches off the mud, stands up on the top, opens up the little wet box up there, pulls out some galoshes, hands me a shovel, and I hop out of the truck in his galoshes and start shoveling mud up from behind his truck.
Yeah, that was interesting when we were heading up that way and you're sending me pictures, and I thought, what has Dan done, man? SoCal guy gets in a little mud and just buries people.
Oh, man. Yeah, we don't got that stuff out here much.
And poor Derek, man, what a connection he has to us, because like that night he had to end up coming and saving us from we had some overheating issues on one of my buddy's trucks. So he literally drove an hour and a half away to come pick us up for that. And
then, that was a heck of a start last year, huh?
And
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and he did like with Luke's group at Went, man, they do some pretty gnarly stuff. He did that all week and then just drives home, just like it's nothing.
Yeah, right. But, he's a hell of a good guy, great heart, and I'm super stoked that he's just out on this adventure, because I mean that's the kind of guy he is. He's just a good old boy that wants to go out and pave his own trails, and
single and has nothing holding him back, man.
Yeah. So I'm sure he'll find more trouble out on the trail, but I'm sure he'll find some good times and good adventures. I mean, we had he had that rear bumper. I don't know if it was a frame that sheared down or what, that pretty much caused his rear bumper to yank down. And
we don't like yanking on bumpers.
He got hooked up with Cody, and
Cody
another
Martin.
Xterra guy who came out with his truck and towed him back into town or back to his shop and got him all welded back up and back on the road. But that's the cool part about the whole Nissan off-road club. I mean, I saw probably 400 posts on Facebook saying, "Oh, go help Derek out. Anybody close to Derek?" And that's how it is all over the U.S. If somebody gets hemmed up, having some problems, there's usually somebody within 60 miles that's down to go out and give a guy a hand.
Right. And Cody Martin, to give a little background on this guy, man, interesting guy. He was at NXM3 and this guy rolls up, and I guess they just named it Monster X after that, because he come in this Gen 1.5 Xterra that was on what was it, Luke, like 44s?
I think it was 48s.
He had 49.5s, and then his small tires were 42s. Because we had to have him put, I don't remember how wide the 49s were. They were like, I don't know, 16, 17 inches wide. And we had to have him take them off just so he could fit down some of the trails.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, well, I've got small tires.
Yeah, I
And
think
they
he
were
put them on.
42s.
I think he has the 42s for his trailer, so it like sits on the trailer better too, or something like that.
Yeah.
But I was expecting to see, when Derek posted some pictures, I was expecting to see Monster X towing him away.
Yeah, right.
But sadly, I think he sold the thing.
Yeah.
But from what I hear, actually, Cody is talking about maybe him and Tater B coming out again to win
man,
this year.
I hope so bad Tater B shows up. Oh man, if Tater B shows up to WENTwindrock, I'm gonna lose my freaking marbles.
Hey
dude.
Dan, Tater B loves you, buddy.
Oh, Tater B loves everybody.
These are, for those listening that may not know about Went, man, and like I said, we're going to break into talk a little more detail about it, but these are the weird stories that like East Coast wheeling does, man. It's such an interesting, I think,
it's
like
a different world. I think you can hear the difference. Even if you were to talk, if you got a bunch of, the guys from Went, and you'll hear it when we do live podcasts from Went, but if you listen to that compared to the one at Gone, it's just, it's different. Although all the guys at Gone are West Coast guys, even if they're not West Coast guys, they're Colorado, Utah, maybe Texas, I guess, is a little bit more west, but it's, bro and dude and all that. And you go out to Went and it's like, yeah, man, daggone y'alls. And like, and it's just such a rad, different. It's so different, but it's just as rad.
But you know what I pick up when I go out to Moab, and I get it from you. I think I start going, yeah, like,
Yeah.
see, and you just did it. So it's definitely interesting, like, to experience the culture difference.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We're doing all this Went talk. We might as well get deep into it right now. For those of you that don't know about WENTwindrock, it's an acronym, stands for Wheeling Enthusiasts of Nissan Trucks. This was the first couple actual event names was the National Xterra Meet, and then in a couple years ago they changed it up to WENTwindrock, which is they kind of wanted to broaden it up so that we could involve the Frontiers and all the other guys. We didn't want it just to be an Xterra Meet, bring all the Nissan guys to Windrock Park in Tennessee. It's an amazing off-road park. Tons of trails. It's an old coal mine. Am I right, guys?
Yeah, it's actually an active mine.
an active coal mine.
And they do natural
and
gas.
they just have roads all over the place out there. David Boyd and Luke Pankow over here are some of the main organizers and that run it, that get everything going for it, that take care of all the registration and stickers and hats, and bringing in all the sponsors and doing all the work for it. It's not like they get paid a bunch of money to do this. They just do it because they love it, and they love going out there every year and making people happy with their smiling little mugs.
Aww.
So for those of you that that don't know about it or want to know more about it, Dave, why don't you start off by giving us a little bit of a heads up on where they can find information, and then maybe Luke, you weigh in a little bit on what to expect at the event.
Well, it's www.went, WENTwindrock, just like it sounds, WINDROCK.com. That's the website, and the registration's there. It gives a little bit of info about the website.
Well, it gives info about the event,
Oh,
too.
I'm sorry, the website. Well, website
This is Dave's event. He knows nothing about it.
And we're also on Instagram and Facebook, and there's 2 WENTwindrocks on Instagram. Any way you spell it, space it out, whatever, you'll find one of us. So,
And we're on Twitter as well for WENTwindrock or Xterra Meet. Oh, gosh, I think if we can find them social media, we're going to try to hit it and let people know what's going on. What?
I see you guys on Facebook and stuff like that. So originally the meet started out with kind of meeting up and doing a tour of the facility of the Tennessee Nissan plant, right?
Well, my original goal for it was a one-time, one-off event just to show Nissan that, rumors have been going on probably for 6 years that the Xterra was dead. And my main initial goal was to show Nissan here locally, hey, people love these trucks and they modify these trucks and they're just super passionate, and it's definitely an enthusiast crowd with this thing. And I wanted to kind of wake up these guys and let them know. And at the time, I'd heard of Gone Moab a little bit, and that was kind of the benchmark event, but I really didn't. I'd never been to any events before, so it was kind of hey, let's just toss this out there. And Luke at the time lived here in Nashville, and I think him and a few others seen my mistakes I was making and thought they should help out a little bit. So I'll let Luke jump with that one.
Nice.
Well, we'll go back a hair further than that. I moved to Nashville.
Game on.
I moved to Nashville, I guess it was 6 years ago, and had this Xterra, and knew they were an off-road type vehicle, but had never actually taken it anywhere. I'd owned it for a couple months.
Hey, Luke, before you get into that, did you do off-roading before this, since we're giving a little background?
I like to say I did. I used to have Dan kind of hinted, I used to have a Nissan hardbody pickup, and I did a few things to it, and I thought that I went off-roading, and I thought that I'd been four-wheeling and done stuff, but until I moved down to Tennessee and would go to actual parks,
like parks, like with people playing soccer or what?
Yeah, in the chutes and ladders type playground, and
just like the total illegal wheeling kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, you run over kids down here in Tennessee, so the parks are the best place to do that.
Yeah, well, the stuff I'd done, we have level B roads, which are it's a dirt road, and to me that was off-roading. But once you get into an actual park, it's a whole different world.
Yeah. So you kind of hooked up with David Boyd to get the original NXM, the National Xterra meet, going the first year. How did that go?
Well,
be honest.
I think the first few times that Dave, he kept saying we should do a national thing and do like a car show, and he would talk about it, and there was a group of, I don't know, 5 or 6 of us that would get together and go wheeling a couple times a year, and we'd go to Woolies, where the first NXM was, or we'd go to Windrock, where it's held now. but none of us really, I think, took Dave seriously. It was just like, oh, yeah, okay, and none of us did
Yeah, good
anything
idea,
about
Dave.
it.
Dreamer.
Well, then I don't remember if he put it on a forum or if it was on Facebook.
No, we
But all of a
started
sudden
with
he
Club
started
Xterra.
gaining interest. What was that?
It started with Club Xterra.
And all of a sudden, we met in a Best Buy parking lot, and I just remember thinking, oh, we'll get like 20 trucks to show up, and all of a sudden people just start pulling in, and more and more and more, and all of a sudden we had 50 some trucks. And then we knew we were in trouble because we had no idea what we were doing.
Right.
It was almost kind of scary. Like, holy crap, what just happened here?
Remember we'd stopped at the Cracker Barrel and we were all having kind of breakfast before meeting up everybody on a Friday, and just thought, this is going to be, there'll be maybe 20 people here or 20 trucks, and we'd had a registration before this, and so I don't know if it just wasn't dawning on us when you see like 50 names or whatever it was at the time on a registration. But when you see like these vehicles, and before this, me and Luke had kind of done some stuff with NOAA's a little bit, tried to organize some stuff to try to help get their membership back up. And so we kind of like had an idea of, you bring some people out and we go wheel and stuff. But yeah, definitely when we seen those people at Best Buy, it was like, holy shit. This is now this is real.
Right. It's actually, you're like, oh, I guess we did something right. Maybe we did it too right.
Well, yeah.
Right on.
It was an idea that more people enjoyed than we thought they would.
Yeah. And I remember back when that happened, because I was kind of keeping an eye on the forum and seeing how that all played out and stuff. And I remember back in the day seeing that and going, oh wow, man, they got a good turnout on that, and that looked like a lot of fun. I was kind of before the company really started for me, and I was just more of a lurker and whatnot, random poster or whatever on some of the forums or whatever. But yeah, it took off from there, and every year it seems like it's become bigger and more popular. It's a little bit more streamlined. We're getting better trucks, bigger trucks, and cooler guys coming in. Not that there wasn't cool guys in the beginning, but
there was a few.
what can people expect that are kind of waffling, that are thinking that they want to come out? What can they expect from Windrock Park that what does it have to offer as far as like off-road and whatnot?
I think that a lot of people may get a little bit intimidated when they originally see pictures that we post, because of course you post the rock challenge that we do, and you post the big 3-foot rock ledge somebody's coming off of, but our main goal is to bring out the person that has a bone stock Xterra, whether it be 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, Pro 4X, bottom line model. We cater to everybody. We do an expedition group, and that's usually where your stock 2-wheel drive people go.
Yeah, just kind of on the like service roads and fire roads and such.
Yeah, you can call it like the overland group, kind of, where it's just cruising out to see all the different sites around there and kind of just getting a feel for the area and whatnot.
Yeah, that group really kind of, if you're intimidated at all by this, because when you see the place, I mean, it's nothing like the West Coast with the mountains y'all have, but it's pretty intimidating mountains that we have, for us East Coasters. It's in the Appalachian Trail a little bit, and in the plateau here in Tennessee. So yeah, the gravel roads and stuff, and they're, for a guy that's never maybe took his vehicle off-road, you're going to get the chance to put it in 4-wheel drive if you have it, and just, get a feel for it. And maybe you like it, maybe you don't. So that's why we have that group.
Yeah, and you have everything from kind of mild to wild when it comes to, how far you want to push your truck, how much you want to do and whatnot. What are the arrangements as far as, sleeping and staying there? Because the event's, what is it, about 4 or 5 days long?
It starts Wednesday night, and then it ends really Saturday night with our raffle. Yeah, so 4 days, 4 solid days.
Yeah, and I know like each year there seems to be a few trickle in like a day or two before that want I guess just can't get their fill of off-roading, and they want to kind of break in early, like Dan.
I usually trickle in a little bit early. I'm always talking to Dave. I'm like, so I'm gonna get there Tuesday morning, and he's like, why?
No, last year it was Monday. You were like, okay, so I'll be in by Monday, right?
I think I was thinking it was like Monday to Friday or Monday to Saturday or something like that. And I was like, I wanted to get my fill. And you're like, I'm working Monday and I'm working Tuesday. And so I'm not sure what you're going to be doing.
Well, what's funny about that is like it started out as a Friday, Saturday event basically. And over time, like when we first did the first NXM, we didn't expect and the first one wasn't a well-organized machine that probably this one is. We had to bring our wives in a little bit to kind of keep us in line. And me and Luke seem to have the great ideas, but it's executing those. I think our wives help us a lot out with Kelly and Luke's wife. But yeah, so after that,
brains behind the operation. We all know that.
Exactly. So after that, people were like, "Hey, y'all going to do this again next year?" And I think we were just like, "Okay,
maybe." Yeah, so that's super cool. What are the dates? What are the dates that happens?
You're gonna make me look it up. I think it's September 16th through 21st.
It's the third weekend of September, definitely.
I'll tell you what. I know for a fact that it is on my birthday. I will be there on my birthday because this is my yearly birthday present to myself. One of the many excuses I give to my wife to get out of Dodge is this is my yearly birthday present to myself. Usually Dave shows up with a mason jar full of water.
Yes, or white lightning
from the hills of Tennessee, the Tennessee Hill water, which is his annual birthday present to me, and we have a good time. And you know what? We're planning on a Nissan Nation podcast from the event, just like Gone. And I have every expectation that will be just as good and or better at WENTwindrock.
The bar is set high for that one, Dan. So yeah, it
bar
is
set very high.
It is September 16th through 20th is the dates on that.
I added a day. I was a little excited. I guess.
Man. Well, I think you're coming in early, right, Luke? But
you may be pulling a Danny going to show up a day early.
But I think we have sort of thought about maybe even bumping it a day or two earlier sometime down the road maybe.
Yeah. This year I am getting there early just to make sure I'm there to control you before everything gets started, Dan, so you don't get our participants stuck in the mud again.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. You know what you need to do? You need to show up at Dave's house with a toolbox to make sure that he can get his trailer full of all the Went supplies out to the event at the correct time.
Yeah, well, no kidding. Well, I think I've solved that problem this year, and we haven't announced this yet on the show, Dan, but the G35 is gone, amigo.
The G35 is gone.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I've seen the Facebook posts. It truly is a sad and happy day for Dave Boyd because you finally got a truck that is almost as cool as mine.
Well, I'm working on it, but yeah, I picked up a 2012 Pro X4 Frontier, so that's kind of the new hauling rig for Went.
Wow, Dave, did you just tell? I didn't even know they made a Pro X4
or Pro 4X, whatever, man. Come on, bro. Hey,
that must be the special edition.
All right, Megatron Dan. No, but hey, man, I'm working on some Angry Balls right now, so. For those, some Angry Orchard drink with a little fireball,
I like how you had to explain it because everybody's like, everybody listening to be like, we're using Angry Balls, huh? Cool, Dave. Enough information for us.
This is your service moment. That was Dan in his role as Megatron from the Transformers movie. So, distorted or not, he is here. So
I'm here.
So kind of Dan, since you're kind of a, me and Luke have done this. This is year 5 of what we've done. What was your first impressions coming out here for this, man? Because you really had, other than like seeing pictures and you kind of, we've talked a little bit, but you really had no idea what was to expect.
Yeah, I didn't have any idea of what to expect. All I knew was that there was going to be a lot more water as far as precipitations,
right?
And just moisture, and that there was going to be a lot more good old boys. And I think it was the first. Tater B was the first year,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah. You would have been NXM3 for that one.
Man, I think that was the best christening of the NXM for me, because we had some good old boys that year, and we just had a good time hanging around that big fire pit, drinking just the right amount of good old fashioned backwoods Tennessee moonshine, and just having a good laugh. I think the big difference between the two events, we're always kind of looking at Gone Moab and looking at Went and seeing, what's the difference? How are they the same? And comparing them. And they're just two totally different beasts. And I think the best thing is that it's just in Gone Moab, it's you can't compare it because there's just so much differences to it.
Well, Moab, I mean, that's such an unusual scenery, so that's hard to top right off the bat.
Yeah, you have different people, you have different scenery. You're a little bit more spread out as far as where everybody stays. A lot of people stay out out at the campgrounds, and some people stay at the condos and hotels and stuff. So you don't get quite that same. Everybody's in the same spot. In the same general area. Whereas WENTwindrock, you're either camping or you're staying in cabins, right there in the same little area. So when you're done at the end of the day wheeling and stuff, everybody's back in the same kind of. There's that big, I don't know what you'd call it, big area where there's picnic benches and stuff where everybody kind of congregates.
The event area that we do.
Yeah, the event area, and it's at the end of the day, it's almost like just kind of like a good old fashioned cookout in the evening. Somebody's barbecuing, hanging out, drinking beers, just it's almost like camping for a couple days with a bunch of wheeling buddies, and then going out and off roading in different trails and stuff, and then the trails themselves are just full of rocks that aren't sticky and mud. And,
what we like to call slick rock.
Yeah, it's actually slick rock. It's not like Moab rock where you're driving up stuff that you never should be. This is like, I can get up that, and you're like, what's keeping me from getting up that? It's just a whole different world of wheeling, man. And it's funny because I remember the first time I got out there, I drove your truck. I drove Stan. And, trying to get up stuff that I thought, like, I would just walk up was just, I'm like, why isn't it going up? It's the tires keep spinning.
Well, and that was what the last time, a couple weeks ago when we were at Moab, I was really looking at trying to kind of compare the two a little bit. And when I see, like, the rock challenges or the rocks on the trails, some of the stuff that y'all go up, it's probably, like, the climb of it itself is a little more extreme. But it's the grip that you guys have. So we may not have like the as big of boulders and stuff or ledges maybe to go up, but it's just as difficult,
Oh yeah, I'd say the trails that you guys do. I mean, it's not like you guys don't have breakages and people pushing their rigs to get up stuff. It's just a whole different beast when you're dealing with kind of that. I don't want to call it a rainforest, but that that lush forest that you're wheeling through is so much different than Moab. You can't even compare the two. It's just a whole different scene. The rocks are almost more like river rock style. Mm-hmm. There's mud. There's just so much different feel to the entire situation. And it's just super cool to kind of get that other side of the coin when you go out there and kind of get a taste for what you guys do when you're wheeling and
right
and checking stuff out there.
And I remember letting you, like, I was like, hey man, you have to drive out here. So me and Luke did a little pre-run out there with you, and on Trail 22, and that's some of the differences too with like Went is where we do it, where Windrock Park is, and that's windrockpark.com if you want to look at it. They number their trails, and I don't know if it's due to some of their old service trails for some of the natural gas lines or whatever, but all the trails are kind of, there's a few of them, wouldn't you say, Luke? There's a few that have names, but ultimately they're all numbered, right?
Yeah, some of them have names, and it's usually like Rocky Ridge Road or something like that, and there's actually a road 2 miles down they just named that trail after it, but there's a couple that have names.
I remember us doing that pre-run, And, we're all having fun. It's me, you, Jenna, Luke's wife, Jenna, and Dan. And I'm letting Dan drive the truck. And I think Dan's having kind of fun. And we get done with it, and we get back to the cabin. And I'm like, man, something feels different in my hip. And my wallet is missing. And
oh, yeah.
somehow in the middle of this, and we did that run kind of at dusk, really.
Yeah. We got back when the sun was cresting below.
So there's nothing like the scary thought of some East Tennessee guy running around there and finds your wallet. Either that or there's some squirrel out there with PayPal that's instantly going to town and buying everything
right.
on eBay. Me and Luke ended up. I think it took us several hours to find my wallet.
I can't believe you found it. Yeah, you guys turned around after searching through your truck for about 15, 20 minutes and kind of going back and forth and looking around.
Yeah, I just remember looking at Luke going, well, I guess we're going back up that hill again.
Well, we drove back up the mountain and came down backwards, and it was in the exact middle of a trail that takes 2.5, 3 hours to complete. So by the time you were there was no turning around.
Yeah, you came back and you were like, oh, we found it. And I was like, you have got to be freaking kidding me.
So, hey, Luke, I mean, obviously I know about the event, and Dan is doing an awesome job here, but what are some of the events? I mean, what do we do? I hate to say what do we do, but kind of tell us a little bit about everything.
We have, I think this is where we differ from Gone. Well, besides the scenery, but we have different things that go on every day and night. Wednesday we kick off with like a meet and greet type barbecue dinner.
The Southeast Xterra dinner.
Yep. And they grill out, you hang out, meet who got there early, have a few beers, eat a couple of hot dogs, just hang out and meet the people. Then Thursday morning we kick off with getting on the trails, and we have organized groups that all take off at different times. And then Thursday night, I don't know that we have anything official Thursday night yet.
Yeah, the NNP podcast is doing a show.
Oh, is
Thursday
that the
night.
podcast night?
Yeah, and I think we're gonna do that.
You know about NNP, son?
Come on, bro. But yeah, I think we're gonna do. Hopefully, my goal for that one is to have an audience, Dan. And
and I do even better when I got an audience.
Oh
man.
yeah, I'll have the full
that gets my juices going.
I'll have the full PA system out for that one, and yeah, hopefully we can get maybe 40 to 50 people out there and really show them Drunk Dan and Dave.
The drunk show.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't take much with moonshine.
No,
it doesn't. Get there real quick.
But
Friday though is another day of trail runs, and then Friday night we do a night run, which I'm pretty sure we're the only event that does that.
That is the Gorilla Off-Road or Off-Road Gorilla. I get his names mixed up.
I think it's Off-Road Gorilla.
Yeah.
And most of our runs are sponsored by.
But they're sponsored by people that do things for your vehicle.
Right?
It's not some Jeep specific company. We really, that's one thing we really do. If we find sponsorship, we make sure that they offer something for us. And
can you tell us a little bit about the sponsors that are sponsoring this event?
Well, we have Niztec Lifts, who the event is presented by, and I'd like to say Xterra Performance, but I don't know that you've sent in your paperwork yet, Dan.
I sent a thing. I sent a thing that said, "Yeah, I'm in."
a thing with a guy.
I may not have signed the dotted line, but I'm in.
Right, Dan. Speaking of which, Dan, is there anything we can announce with?
There's a very, very large announcement. That is this the time? Are you ready for me,
bro? All I got's time, man.
Xterra Performance has been, we always work to try and bring you the best and awesome off-road Nissan stuff, and try and innovate and work with different people to get cool off-road stuff. And we also work with a bunch of the other companies in the Nissan world as far as trying to get stuff built, and just kind of working together. It's a small niche market, and so in our dealings, we've been dealing stuff. We've been wholesaling through a bunch of different companies, and through that, we've built a really great relationship with Niztec Lifts. And this past few weeks, maybe this last month, we've been in close contact with them, and then meeting in Moab and hashing out some last little bit of details. We are actually merging with Niztec Lifts in order to kind of combine our companies to have a little bit more buying power, have a little bit stronger foothold in the market in order to be able to do more R&D, to bring more products to market, and work together to kind of make a name for the Nissan market and show that it's not just a couple random Xterras meeting in Moab and Tennessee trying to do some wheeling.
The Xterra
we really want to make it
Frontier Xterra,
a strong market. The Xterra Frontiers. Central Frontiers and Xterra Frontier Centers. But yeah, so I'm working with Chris Meisner with Niztec to merge our companies. I'm not going away by any stretch of the imagination. I'm still going to be around. I'm going to be helping out with Niztec. Niztec is going to be helping out with me. He's a brilliant guy when it comes to suspension, and Nissan suspension stuff and much more. He's after talking to him quite a bit, we've really been able to work a lot of stuff out. He's a great guy.
When they actually
I think
they've done.
Go ahead.
Sorry, they've done a lot of research and actual development on their own.
And you know what? The more I talk to him, the more I find out about how much he's put into the Nissan community as far as R&D and bringing new stuff to the market. I mean, he's one of the new lift companies out there. There's maybe 2 or 3 lift companies that are really working to make sure that Nissans get their due as far as having large amounts of products. And really, the only way to get good products out to the Nissan customers is to start getting a larger volume and making sure they're tested. And he has really done his due. I mean, we've worked together recently on some really good products that should be coming out very soon. And he's done his due diligence to make sure that they're not just something he grew out of his mind and then threw out on the market without testing. So it's cool to work with him. I'm glad I worked with him, and then now it's just the next step in growing our businesses together and creating one business that's strong and that has some power in the market that can sway some of these larger companies to start making stuff for us.
Well, that wasn't long-winded at all, was it?
Long-winded, wasn't it?
That
was professional Danny right there.
So somewhere in the mix of the title sponsorship of Niztec, maybe Dan's XP company, their Xterra Performance, is mixed in there. Who knows? But who else do we got, Luke? I know. Mickey Thompson came back. We just got something recently from them. They're actually, and they generally do a $500 to $700 gift certificate for tires, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah, they do. They put on there what you can get, but I think there's like a few sets of wheels you can get, or it can be tires also.
Right.
But yeah, they've been with us since year one.
Yeah, day one, man. I know we're in talks with Rugged Rocks coming out, and we talked to him at Moab, and I think he's wanting to kind of caravan out that way with you guys, man. So.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm down for caravan. And Steven over at Rugged Rocks is a super cool guy. He's fun to hang out with. Great guy. So there's always a friendly rivalry when it comes to business and whatnot. But when it comes to wheeling and have a good time and high five and drinking beers, we're all a bunch of dudes that like to take our trucks out and get on the rocks, Right. So there's always rivalry, but it's there's no like bad blood or anything like that.
And what's cool with like some of the West Coast guys coming out here to the East Coast, and like you said, you got to see it's just a different style of off roading, and
it really is. Yeah.
And we don't have the large open lands maybe that you do, but WENTwindrock Park is 72,000 acres. Now that
is huge. It is huge. They got the windmills on the hill.
That's 5 counties here on the East Coast that it's in, and that's over 300 miles of trails, whether it be the service roads or just the extreme like Rattle Rock, which is only like a 1/4 mile trail, but it's if you want damage, you're going to get it, and it's probably really for the most extreme buggies, isn't it, Luke?
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing one time when we were headed out to the trail. I mean, there was rock buggies, the rock bouncers that you see, the alcohol injected, ridiculous. Let's say they flip them over at least half the time they go up the trails. I mean, there's trails that go up to that extreme when it comes to how extreme you want to go with your trucks and whatnot. So they're if someone thinks that they don't want to go out there and drive on some boring trails, they are mistaken, because you guys got some awesome trails out there.
Right. And I think each day we try to amp up the trails a little bit. Day one, we kind of we get a feel for any kumquat kind of weird guys that are if you all could only see Dan right now, he's loving that mic.
Gotcha.
but no, I mean like day one, or I guess it'd be the Thursday, we do some rated trails. Like I generally do like a moderate group because I love first time guys, taking time guys out, and Luke will generally have more of the extreme guys, and we have some other trail leaders that do the same thing. But in each day we just kind of we have kind of a set scale or a set amount of trails we do, but there's generally not a set pattern of this trail this day, because like what you guys don't have on the East Coast, we have what's called weather, Dan. And,
well, I don't know, Dave. We had a little bit of weather over in Gone. We had some rain.
Actually, we did, man. But like with like Moab, it's a lot of rock. So I know like some trails can get washed out a little bit, but here on the East Coast, like today,
the second you add that water, I remember just seeing how bad it got. The second you add water, those trails go from greens to blacks. I mean,
did you get to experience?
Crazy.
Dan, when you were out there, did you get to experience the rain Saturday we had?
No.
Oh, that was your wedding day, wasn't it? Or not your wedding day, but
I had to go. Yeah, no, I was the best man at a wedding that weekend, so I had to take off on. I want to say it was like Thursday or Friday. I think I had to take off on Friday.
Yeah, I think we had a monsoon come through.
Yeah, I remember seeing pictures, and I thought to myself, man, that must have been a rough day of wheeling.
Yeah.
And when I say rough, I mean, I don't think you know what? It's all part of the adventure. Just like Derek Metz breaking all over the place. You get out when you're wheeling, part of it is hooking straps up and getting out and pulling each other up trails and slinging mud. And I mean, I remember, who was it? The big guy with the goatee. He was like pedaled
that guy
to the floor. And he was climbing up that one trail.
Sachs?
I just remember seeing.
Would it be Aaron Powers?
Yeah. And I mean, he was literally pedaled to the floor, just slinging mud, just tires back and forth and back and forth.
Oh, were you on that trail when he was like sideways? And
I didn't. I just saw video. He showed me video later, like in the evening or something like that. But that's what it is. Sometimes you're out on a trail and it starts pouring, and you got to figure out how to get off the trail. That's part of the awesomeness of off-roading, is you have to kind of be ingenuitive, and you have to figure out how you're going to get all these trucks off the trail, and you have to you kind of ended up working as a team and trying to find the right lines and all that stuff, and that's off-roading. That's going out and having a good time.
And to speak to that, man, that's one thing we've noticed, and I've not been to any other big off-road events besides Gone. But generally each day, it's the same people that go out each day in their groups. And as far as like talking of a teamwork, man, it's really amazing when you start on a Thursday. You kind of got everybody's, if they haven't been there before, they're a little scaredy cat maybe, and just nobody wants to go take their brand new Frontier or Pathfinder or something and just go bash it into a tree. So everybody's a little on edge. But to see how the people kind of bond together, and after that Saturday, man, the stories that they can tell, and I know guys that are now like nearly best friends because they met on these trails, and really bonded over it.
Yeah. Well, every year when I show up, it's almost like you're seeing you're at a family reunion again. It's not
really
you're going to meet your buddies. It's like, oh, hey, how are you? And you talk to them on Facebook or whatever, but you meet longtime friends that you never thought you would have.
And there was a couple guys at Gone this year, the VAXC.
Oh, yeah.
Shoot, their name's slipping my mind right now.
Bolton.
But they drove all the way out. Yeah.
Well, that was them and the dude and his dad.
He brought his dad.
I think that was Donnie.
Yeah, Donnie.
Yeah, Donnie. Yeah, there you go.
His dad's a trip, man.
Yeah, the guys from Nissan out or shoot, I'm tripping on names. This is like the worst thing ever. But Black Watch Customs guys, they came out. I wasn't able to run very many trails. I saw them at the meet and greet. But yeah, just seeing those guys, I was super stoked to see those guys because they came out and they made a drive to get out there.
They were at Went last year, and I think that's kind of when they started.
They went 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
They were at the NXM, and then they were at Went. And then I got to see them at Gone, so it was super cool.
But that's what any of these events kind of do, man. They maybe spark an interest in somebody. And then it's funny that I'll fly out to the West Coast, and all of a sudden you look around, and there's like somebody that you know from the East Coast. So
yeah.
And we're hoping that Went kind of it sounds like we're going to get some West Coast people coming out this year. So
yeah, me and Chris from Nistec we're seriously talking about having a nice solid caravan out from the West Coast to get out there and show our stuff and represent. I don't know how many people are going to be coming with us.
Bring some of that
805 going to be coming.
805, buddy, or whatever it was we were drinking. What was that beer?
The 805's coming.
Man, that was good beer, by the way. And I know we talk about alcohol and stuff on this thing, but let me tell you this: it is a family event. And I know everybody will have a beer or two, but we've really never had anybody kind of get out of hand. Can you think of anybody, Luke, that maybe? I mean, we've never had any problems.
No. The worst thing is people tend to get excited and want to drive fast through the camp area.
Right.
And there's actually Xterra police that they're not with us. They're actually the park.
Yeah, WENTwindrock
security, the WENTwindrock security, yeah, and they drive Xterras. So you can get in a little bit of trouble with the park if you end up going too fast, but no, like Dave said, it really is a family event. I mean, I've seen
there's a lot of guys camping out, and there's like RV camping. There's all kinds of different areas for people to be, and just kind of right there at the event area.
Hey, Dan.
Yeah.
Can Luke talk a little bit, buddy? Come on now. Share the mic.
Man.
I know you were loving on that mic a little bit.
You know how I get when they put the mic in front of me.
Hey, is there anything, speaking of that, is there any like hairs or anything I need to know about on your mic tonight? Because that one show, like you were worried about hairs all over your mic. Ooh, I heard that.
Hairy Mike? Which show is this? Because there may or may not be in my recollective area.
Maybe 2 shows ago. Anyways, Luke, go ahead. Sorry, buddy.
No problem. It definitely is a family event. We encourage the whole family to come out. There's always little kids running around playing in the mud, whatever.
Right.
But
I think people bring their pets too a little bit, and that's not I don't always encourage that because you never know when somebody brings their pet possum out and it doesn't get along with the cat or or anything. We do it a little different out here, Dan. That's all I'm going to say is, possums and raccoons and stuff. We love them.
Well, and there's lots of wildlife.
Don't bring your
around.
pets because I'm going to headbutt them.
Right, and there actually are bear in the area, so. But yeah, Yogi the bear is out there with us. But, I mean, for people that, I don't know if you've ever been, any of these people listening, you've ever been to like state parks and stuff, and they generally, like their restrooms are super clean. This place rivals any state park I've seen as far as their camping area.
Yeah.
I mean, the showers and everything are super nice if you're kind of primitive camping. They actually have cabins, a few different style. They kind of have small bunk style cabins, and they're getting into bigger and bigger family style cabins. And then there's places, Oliver Springs is where this is at, but Oak Ridge, Tennessee. And for people that history buffs out there, they may have heard of Oak Ridge, Tennessee. That's where your Manhattan Project, your nuclear testing was started. So, you may see a green glowing hill or something. I don't know. But this town literally was not there in the 40s. And when they decided it was time for the atom bomb, the military decided to go in and develop a town.
I'm sorry, Dave. That you're getting really boring.
I know.
I don't know what you're talking about with the atom bomb.
But what I was getting at is
you lost me with the atom bomb.
They actually have a decent town that has many nice hotels and stuff. So if camping or roughing it's not your thing, literally Walmart, if you need something, it's 5 minutes away. I mean, that's how close town is to everything. But yet when you're out in the park, you're just out in the middle of nowhere. And like I said,
in the Mexican restaurant. What's the Mexican restaurant that we go to?
oh gosh, I never remember that name. But
I don't remember the name either, but it's right next.
We'll just call it
to
Jose's.
Sonic.
We'll call it Jose's Mexican
Cuervo's.
restaurant. Yeah.
What was it, last year or 2 years ago that you took your Sentra Frontier rental car and
Last
went
year.
over the curb?
And I took my Sentra. Oh, I did have a Sentra Xterra last year. Oh, I three-wheeled that thing at the old Jose's, man.
Dan, give us a little. Dan normally flies out and he'll fly into Nashville, and I'll pick him up, and he kind of comes out. But what, last year, because you were on a time schedule, right?
I was on a super time crunch. I had to get to the airport, and we're like right over a time zone when you, because you're in a different time zone than WENTwindrock.
Well, yeah, I'm Central, and they're actually Eastern.
So I fly out, and then I go to Dave, so I change my clock, and then we change our clock again when I go out to WENTwindrock, and I just get ridiculously confused. So I thought I had to be there an hour earlier or something like that. So, and it was super early that I had to be at the airport or something like that. So I got a rental car the night before, so I could drive out early morning to get to the airport. And we ended up taking the rental car to Jose's or whatever the Mexican restaurant was.
Well, no, before that, you decided it was off-roading time at the kind of check-in cabin. You were doing burnouts.
Power break. I think when you get a rental car.
Hold on. I'm going to go into this a little bit more. The cabin that we usually use for check-in, which we're changing it this year to be more central in the park, had this S-shaped gravel road that went up to it. And it was pretty steep. I've actually had to put it in four-wheel drive just to make it up to the top to my parking spot. Dave pokes his head out and says hi, and I get stuck trying to get into the cabin once. But anyway, I am on, I guess it's the third story looking out, and I see this Sentra fly down, grab the e-brake, and do a complete 360 onto the road, and then just take off. And I didn't even know Dan had a rental car or what the hell was going on. But I'm just sitting there baffled, and then I think Dave came out laughing or something. There goes Danny!
I want to admit something on the show that I got a very bad rental car problem. But when I get rental cars, I feel as though they're like a disposable razor, you know? You got to treat them you got to treat them bad, man. They're just screaming like that e-brake looks at me and says, "You want to get this, don't you? You want to get this trim."
Get you some.
Especially when it's a car, man. Especially when it's a Sentra Xterra, man.
So that wasn't the Sentra Frontier, though, right?
No, it was the Sentra Xterra.
Okay.
And when we went to Jose's, I took her over a pretty solid curb. I got that thing three-wheeling, man. Almost high-centered it.
We ended up getting a picture of you three-wheeling on that thing, man. It was funny as hell. But this is like
One more shenanigan.
Just like you heard in that last episode, guys. It's more of the East Coast version, but it's just fun. And is Joey Parent coming out this year? I'd heard rumors about that.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to shoot some text over in his goose, man.
Maybe he can bring some.
After Gone Moab, I actually drove over.
Oh, that's right.
The Blueberries Hacienda. And I actually got to go and sit on. I sat on the Blueberry couch. We went over to Boulder Nissan, Casa de Blueberry, and we went over to Boulder Nissan, and I sat in the Blueberry, the official Work-a-Day Blueberry, and sat in his chair at his work. And I wrote some things on their walls.
I seen you post that.
I just got that much closer to the Blueberry, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to shoot a text over to him and see what his deal is.
I know Corey Sane has talked about driving out from Denver again, which he was here last year.
Ooh. That'd be cool.
Yeah. So
and this year's year 5 for NXM WENTwindrock. But if Blueberry came out and was able to meet Tater, that could be the most epic thing of all.
Taters and berries are on the dinner.
Tater berries, man. Tater berries. We could have a collaboration, have a full tater berry.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would be definitely awesome. So we'll kind of get back to the event a little bit and wrap this up. But so that Saturday, Luke, what happens on Saturday?
Well, we have several things. Again, get up in the morning, you got trail runs, and my wife actually leads a women's only trail run, which last year I think you were the only guy there, but you weren't allowed to talk. You
Nope.
could just take pictures.
I was
Is that
literally
right?
I was literally the photographer, and that was it.
I want to be on that run so hard.
No, sorry, bro.
This year
I'm
you
gonna
could
take pictures
show
on
up in a
that
wig.
run. Yeah.
But she leads an all ladies run. It's led by women, spotted by women.
Yep.
I mean, it's girl drivers
Well, we actually
going out.
there was what's it, Sean? Oh gosh, what's Sean's last name in the white Xterra? But he let his wife take it out, and I don't know. I know she'd done a little bit of wheeling before, but he was so nervous. And what was funny was, and when Luke says this is run by ladies, it definitely is, because Sean went to kind of like tell his wife, hey, let's go over here. And Luke's wife, when you guys meet her, man, she is a little pit bull and will get in your ass in a heartbeat. And she's just a firecracker. And she was like, whoa. This is a ladies' run. I will handle this. And like put him in his place, kind of. And after
I would like to think that Jenna's a better driver than Luke.
well, probably
Oh,
is, honestly.
She probably is. She drives my
I think
truck
she is.
almost as much as I do anymore.
Yeah, I think she's just as good as a wheeler as Luke is. From my trail experience with Jenna.
So we definitely have the ladies' runs, and we're always looking for sponsors, Mountain Dew or Pepsi Cola, somebody like that.
Mountain Dew,
Coors Light, somebody. But yeah, and that's generally a half a day thing there. And what happens next, Luke? I mean, you guys do hardcore trails. I do easier stuff.
Yep, we have our typical trail runs, the women's run, and then the biggest thing in the afternoon then is we have the White Knuckle Rock Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
White Knuckles,
whiteknuckleoffroad.com, by the way.
White Knuckles been our sponsor.
XterraPerformance.com.
They've sponsored this every year, and the last year they actually made us some pretty sweet trophies to hand out to the winners.
Right.
You see the picture on our website. But that, I believe the Overly brothers are coming again. Last year, the
God.
videos of this
Oh,
just
are they
blew
really?
up.
Yeah.
I mean, they went
Dan-
literally around the world
Dan
in
missed
about
out.
10 hours.
Dude,
Dan
I'm
missed
telling
it.
you, I was so pissed that I didn't see that challenge, because that was probably the best one. The pictures
yeah.
from that. What did he break? He broke his front and rear
Well,
axle.
let's set the rock challenge up a little bit. What it is there's kind of a drainage area that WENTwindrock has from one campground to the next, and they do their jamboree. I think they did a jamboree for 4-wheelers and stuff that try to. There's these huge boulders, maybe 4 foot by 4 foot boulders, and it just gradually goes up, and then it's an extreme incline at the very end, and so each pictures and video really don't do it justice, does it, Luke? How
No, not in the least.
and so
Yeah,
it's only
they're not
maybe
slick rock boulders.
it's only
They're
maybe
real slicky boulders.
350, 400 feet, maybe, I'm guessing. I'll have to measure it sometime.
Okay.
But so, yeah, normally our best time, I think, year one was like 2:30, 2 minutes, 30 seconds, something like that, Luke?
I actually think year one, I thought those were more in the 5 minutes.
Oh, you're right. They're right. They were in the 5
And then
minutes.
year 3, we had the monster Xterra, who this by no means is a skinny track, but he was so big, he just about went out of bounds just trying to get onto the thing. And he did it in...
Two something.
It was
2:08,
Well,
I
it
think.
was like a minute and
Oh, that's-
50
yeah, yeah.
seconds or something like that. Well, and then last year...
Well, we had to create a new class for this because of that.
Yeah,
guy.
we had to separate because it wasn't fair if you wanted to go up it with 33s to compete against 49.5-inch tall tires. So I broke that up into a couple different classes. But this year it was a set of brothers, and they were the Overleys.
Yeah, from
And
Ohio.
the youngest brother actually built both trucks, which one was an 04 Frontier, the other was like a 95 hard body.
And both SAS straight axled.
Yep, solid axle. The hard body had 35s, the Frontier had 37s, and
both were built
front-
for this.
oh yeah, they were both very well built trucks. But the younger brother with 37s went first. and that thing had, I believe it's a Dana 60 up front and a 14-bolt rear, which those are heavy axles. It makes the truck heavy in itself. He got halfway up, and that whole truck jumped a foot straight up in the air, and it was the craziest thing I'd ever seen. But he made the whole course in 50 seconds.
Right.
Well, then his brother steps up, and they were in different classes due to tire size, but older brother wanted to beat little brother's time. That truck was 10 feet off the start, and that whole thing was 2 feet in the air, and it was just people were
smothered
screaming,
that gas
roaring.
pedal.
Yeah, we've had to create some new rules because of this guy.
This year we're gonna have to stand way back from the.
Well, this hard body, he hit it so hard, Dan. Like there was about halfway into it, one wrong turn, and he could have plowed through a bunch of people.
New rules, and like spectators got to go back a little ways.
And maybe that this isn't a drag race.
No, I don't know though. That
Dave.
Just made it so fun to watch.
No, Dave.
By the time that hard body got to the top, parts were flying off the truck because
he blew
was
a tire
leaning into it so hard to try and beat his brother's time.
Yeah, he broke his rear axle and then got in it again and broke the front axle.
No. He blew a tire out.
The drive shafts. By the time that truck came to a halt, both drive shafts just fell straight to the ground.
At the same time. I've never seen it happen before.
Yeah, same time, just boom, done.
But like we were saying, people see these pictures of this, and I've had some guys that go, "Oh man, I'll just come up there and I'll just take y'all's trophy on that, and and whatever." And I'm like, guys, you don't understand. I mean, that truck was on 37s, a truck that was built to do it. But that guy could drive, Where I think brother just used the gas pedal a little bit more, but probably had the skills as well. But so there's that, and what else happens after the white knuckle challenge?
Well, then after that we wrap everything up with our raffle, and then we do a good old Tennessee barbecue dinner too.
Right.
Dave and I get up there and probably talk way longer than we should.
Maybe Dan.
And then we give away cool prizes. Hopefully Dan will be there the whole time to announce and.
I'm planning on it. I've broken that weekend out, and I said I'm not going to be around. P.S. Don't expect me to be in town.
Don't get married.
No other commitments. Weekend. I'm ready to do this thing this year. I'm telling you guys, you have no idea how upset I was when I was leaving there. Because I left in the morning after. Because I walked out and I took pictures and gave high fives to everybody in the morning, and then I walked back to the condo and got in the car and left. It was like right before everybody was heading out on the trails, and it was like, I was like 3 seconds from just tearing up and crying. Because, oh, man, I just wanted to stay there and just have a good time, man.
Well, from the pictures we saw of you that wedding, I think you had a pretty good time.
I don't think anybody needs to know about that, man.
well, I digress. We'll move on from that. But yeah, we do a raffle and we gather sponsors. Like we were saying, Nissan related sponsors, and I think we've given away bumpers, we've given away winches, tires,
lift kits, all kinds of good stuff.
Sliders, all kinds of. You could probably, if you timed it out right, you could build your whole vehicle with the raffle that we put on. But yeah, we do your registration. What you pay for includes a T-shirt, a couple raffle tickets. I think 3 raffle tickets. Your stickers, your stickers, and your passes, and whatever the sponsors kind of give us to put in the goodie bags. Mm-hmm. And for what you pay for it, man, I mean, we could honestly, we could charge $100 for what we put on, and that's not bragging. I mean, that's just. I mean, everybody thinks they do something, they do it the best, but man, we have such a diverse group. I think is what makes this group of guys.
It's a great event, and if you're gonna, I always say if you're gonna spend a couple $100 to go to Disneyland, you're gonna have not nearly as much fun as the rides you get at WENTwindrock, or any of these events. And I always think you guys don't charge enough. But the time that you guys put into it, it's definitely a well organized event. Are we gonna have a wheeling 101 on the first day? You guys have that again this year?
Megatron Dan.
I have no idea what that last thing Dan said was.
Yes, Dan. We always we do opening Thursday. We do kind of a wheeling 101. It's just kind of explain for how we do things. basic things to look for. Luke has done that in the past. Luke, tell us kind of what you do there.
Just kind of go through what to check over on your truck. Airing down your tires is a big one to me, and something that I try and get people to realize that they should look into. Just go over what to expect from their spotter, what to look for, just general things, and any questions they have about their truck. Every year there's somebody that doesn't know how to put their truck in four-wheel drive or can't get it out of four low, and that's perfectly fine. Those are the people we want to come and want them to learn how to use their vehicle.
Right. We obviously we like the big guys coming out. I mean, that's pretty impressive when they come out, but definitely, I mean, I think our bread and butter is the guy that just wants to learn. And you're never going to build a larger off-road crowd for Nissan if you don't take the time and let those guys learn. So
yeah, I think one of the cool things is that, you know, you can this is the best place to learn. You know, if you have a stock Xterra, don't think, oh, I'm going to build it up before I go out to one of these events.
Right.
Bring your stock Xterra, bring your stock Frontier, Pathfinder, whatever out, and
wait,
find
not
out
the current Pathfinder. I'm going to put a limit on that.
Not
one.
the current Pathfinder. your legitimate four-wheel drive
Yes.
Pathfinder. Bring it out and see what it'll do. You know, I mean, nobody's going to take you on a trail that you're not prepared for, and it's the place to learn.
Well, and you're never going to be a better wheeler or driver of your vehicle than somebody who starts at the bottom with that bone stock truck, and then you learn what you need to do to build it up to do what you want it to do. Anybody can get on the internet and buy a lift kit and sliders, but maybe it's not the right thing for what you want your truck to do.
Right. So we'll kind of wrap this up with that is www.wentwindrock.com, or you can go to www.windrockpark.com and kind of check out what they offer. Now, if you're listening and you want to come out to this, just to let people know, this has been confusing in the past. There are two separate fees for this. We are a nonprofit. Everything we do is basically to either pay for the next year's event or we donate what we do in time. And so we do charge a fee for that, and it is $45 for that, and that includes your T-shirt, 3 raffle tickets, which are $5 a piece if you want to buy more. Stickers, whatever we can throw at you for these sponsors give us, we throw it in. You get this cool little, your pass is this cool little lanyard that's a sweet keepsake. And then WENTwindrock, they have a fee. They have a yearly fee, which is, I believe, $88. They have a daily fee, which is $17.50, I believe. And that's 24/7, man. This park never closes, so it's not like a 9 to 5 that so if you don't get your fill when you're done with us at the end of the day, and a bunch of you guys want to kind of go out there and have some more fun, it's on, man. They do not, your park pass, if you do it at 12 a.m., it's good till the next day at 12 a.m., so you can go get your fill. And what else are we missing there, Luke? Anything? I don't know. Check our Facebook page.
Yeah, I think that's the main points. I mean, Dave's on Facebook. I'm on Facebook. You send something to WENTwindrock, one of us will get on there and answer the question for you. You really can't go wrong. If you like your Nissan truck, SUV, whatever, it really is something to come out and check out, at least for a couple days, because I guarantee you'll have a good time.
Right, and if you're kind of skeptical, sign up. And I know $45 is a lot to do, but just come out on the Saturday, get a feel for it. You're going to get raffle tickets and a T-shirt and stuff anyways, but you're going to get to see the kind of trucks that you may not get to see on the East Coast. The West Coast has all these places that you see these just built-up beasts of vehicles, man, and they may be a little intimidating to you, and you want to get your start out here on the East Coast, come out here and check us out. So that's www.wentwindrock.com, WENTwindrock on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, hell, wherever we can find a social media place, we're going to dump that on there, and that's it, man. We want to see you. You come out and ask for Luke or Dave, and we're gonna meet with you and hang out with you, and definitely we want to have a good time with you guys. I can't say enough. Obviously, we created this, so we can't say enough about it. But I like what you've heard Dan say. Dan had no affiliation with us.
I've been to it, and I can legitimize it by saying these guys aren't. They're not tooting their own horn for no reason. It's such a fun event. I wouldn't go back if I didn't love it, and didn't. I mean, it's almost like I feel like I have to, because I know that if I don't show up, and I'm going to be hating myself because I'm going to be seeing all the pictures and videos and knowing that I'm missing it. So that's part of why I go up, because it's just such a fun time. There's so many stories to be had. There's so many awesome people to meet or reconnect with. So go out, have a good camping trip. Enjoy meeting new people, and just kind of having an adventure.
Right. So let's see, Dan. We want to say thanks to Luke for coming on. I mean, obviously he's been a friend of ours for years and years and years, and
yeah, thanks, Luke. If someone needs stickers, what's the best way to get about that in Lifestyle Off Road?
Lifestyle Off Road on Facebook. That's all I got.
Hit you up, send you a message on Facebook, and
you do custom work,
Luke
whatever.
Great vinyl graphics. I use him for all my stickers. He's truly a great guy to work with. He hooks it up big time. He's very talented. So.
Whether you're driving Godzilla and you need something for your little GTR club or whatever, I mean, I think Luke will do it. It's not just strictly off road. I think you'll do a little bit of everything, won't you, Luke?
Yeah. Off road's a very vague term. I actually just made a guy a bunch of stickers for his Nissan 240 drift car, so
sweet.
I consider that off road.
And when you go hook us up with this drift guy, bro? I mean, we love trucks and we love cars, but the tuner guys are hard to get a hold of.
I'm working on it. I got it narrowed down more as to who you need to talk to.
Sweet. So let's see, Dan, next time, what do you think? Let's spin the wheel of who can we interview. We got
spin the wheel of potential candidates for the Nissan Nation podcast.
I think I know Adam Levine. He just bought that GTR. Big deal. I thought you were
I'll just walk down my street. I think he just moved in just down the road.
Oh, so he's
I'll just walk down. Me and Adam Levine, bros. One of my bros.
And he's in that new Maxima interview or commercial that they're doing too. Him and the country guy.
Yeah, he probably got a pretty good deal because of his commercial involvement.
You think so? I think they probably charged him retail on that, Dan.
Something like that.
So let's see. I'm gonna spin the wheel of we got Mr. Chris Meisner with Niztech or Niztech, however you want to say it. I know we want to talk to him. I know Southeast Xterra guys want to talk.
I want to get Chris Haynes USA on. I don't know if you want that.
No,
I
definitely
want to get Blueberry for Boulder Nissan. We got a bunch of guys that we want to bring on.
Yeah, and Joey's, of course, you got to hear him on that last podcast, the Moab one. But Joey's an interesting guy. Like, what he did bike racing and stuff, Dan.
He used to mountain bike race, downhill mountain bike race, and he's got all kinds of stories, man. He's been around the block, and he's just a fun guy.
And what the cool thing is, he knows these cars in and out because he sells Nissan. And
right now he's a used cars manager at Boulder Nissan. He's been a finance manager. He does what he needs to do, and he's just all about Nissans and all about
But
doing it.
Do you think we'll be able to get Chris Haynes who on here, Dan?
Listen. My connection with I'll be actually camping with Chris Haynes who in a couple weeks, and
hey, we need a picture for the website, man, because that stories y'all were telling at Gone last year. I know I'm sitting here trying to wrap this up, but man, the Mankini Chris Haynes, that is
oh man,
those are epic stories, and I can only imagine.
I listened to that podcast, and it did nothing to kibosh that memory. It was like a memory refresher, and it flashed back in my mind.
I think we need to get Car Jeep and some of these guys on here too, man.
Yeah, well, you know what? Car Jeep's going out to Saudi Arabia for 6 months,
right.
So he's going to be out of touch for a little while.
Well, he'll want some beers when he gets back.
Back for Gone Moab, supposedly. So, but we'll try and snag him before he leaves. But some of these guys, him
and what is it, Chema or
Chema? Yeah,
Chema, yeah. They've been huge.
Apparently, he's talking about coming out to win. I don't know if that's happened.
He registered.
Yeah, he's super cool dude.
And has a massive
caravans out with
a massive Frontier, man.
beautiful. He just ordered an Atlas transfer case. I don't know if he wants people to know that, but he just ordered an Atlas transfer case for that thing too.
I didn't hear that.
That guy's building that thing to the wall, man.
Well, Dan, our let's see, our last download is nearly at 300 downloads in maybe 2 weeks. So that may not sound like a lot to a lot of people, but for what a specific show we have.
It blows my mind personally. Almost 300 people.
We're nearly 3K of listeners, man.
Yeah.
So once again, you guys, you have a question or something, hit us up on the Facebook page is the best way to do it, and that's at a Nissan Nation Podcast on Facebook.com, however you do that. I don't know. It's technology, but we're
Facebook.com/Nissan Nation Podcast.
Or we're also on Twitter, and that's Nissan No Space Nation then Space Podcast. I don't know how Twitter works either, man. I just type things and it appears. So
check out XterraPerformance.com for all your Nissan needs.
Yeah, or obviously now Nice Tech, your partner there, buddy. And once Insane Fab. I mean, we can go on and on and on. We got all these friends with the Nissan community. But once again, we are looking for that in the Godzilla. So maybe one day we're going to get that interview with somebody that drives maybe an R34 or something like that. Maybe they can tell us what a badass they are for owning a badass car like that. But so I'm going to wrap this up and say next interview, it's out there, man. We're gonna spin the wheel of interviews and see who pops up. So I am David Boyd alongside my co-host, Mr. Daniel Groders, and we got Mr. Luke Pankow over there. Pankow, how do you say your name, Luke? Give it to us.
Pankow.
There you go, Pankow. So this is the Nissan Nation, Dan, and what are we?
We're out.
Peace. The Nissan Nation Podcast is a presentation of DRB and KGB Media.